2005 Toyota Corolla with a bad CV joint here, or bad axle. You can see that the boot is torn, the grease is gone, and this is now clicking when going around turns. So we're going to go ahead and change out the entire CV axle. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. I'm going to show you how to change the front driver's side CV shaft or CV axle on a 2005 Toyota Corolla. Now just note that you will need a 12.30mm socket before you do this job. I'll get a link to one in the description, but you might be able to rent one from your local auto parts store or pick one up locally as well. So I'm going to use the Milwaukee mid-torque and the heavier duty impact. Now I do have a chrome socket. That's not ideal. That should be impact rated. So just wear some safety glasses if you can only find a chrome socket, because you really shouldn't be using that with an impact. And then of course I've got the big pry bar here. This is the Dominator 48-inch. Hopefully that will pop this axle right out of that housing with no problem at all. And then you will need a torque wrench or two to get everything torqued back up when you're done. But let's get right into it. Now if you don't have an impact, you might want to try to loosen this before you take the wheel off the car. In a lot of rims there's a hole or an opening where you can put your socket in through there and break this loose with the car still on the ground. The other thing you could do is put a stout screwdriver right in here in the edge of the rotor, and that'll catch the caliper as you turn it to break it loose. But usually the impact will break this loose. Now because I'm going to be using an impact with a chrome socket, which is just not recommended, don't do what I'm doing here. If you can find an impact rated 12 point, this is all I have is a chrome socket, and that's just not ideal to use with an impact. If you are going to do it, just be safe. I'm just going to use some safety glasses here, and hopefully we can break this loose. Okay, we got it off. Now, by the way, these are usually staked down. You can see where it's kind of rubbed a little bit more as I took that off. You could try to unstake it, but I haven't really found it makes much of a difference. And in our case, we're not going to be reusing this axle. If I was reusing this axle and just disassembling this for a different reason, I probably would go ahead and take the time to unstake this little flange part of the nut. But in our case, we're not reusing the axle, and I believe the new one comes with a new nut too, so nothing we need to worry about there. Fortunately, this is not stuck. I can push that in a little bit too, so that's good. Sometimes these will get seized up in there, but that's great that it's not stuck. I'm going to bring it down underneath. All right, now we're going to disconnect our lower ball joint just by taking out these two nuts and this one bolt. It looks like this one is 19 and these two are 17. I'm going to use the mid-torque impact to loosen these up and take them off. Now we should be able to push that lower control arm down and get that ball joint out of there. We might need to get a little pry bar. Okay, there we go. All right, and now you can see that this swings freely. Now here's a little bit of a trick. I'm going to turn the wheel to the right because that's going to push our tie rod end over. Now I turn the wheel to the right so that this tie rod will push outward a little bit on this, and now we've got a lot more room so we can push that axle out. So really that's all we need to do is kind of push in on the axle and then swing this out a little bit. And there it is. This is ready to come out now, but I'm going to get in there with a pry bar and see if we can pop that axle out of the transmission. All right, now just take your pry bar up underneath here and see if we can pop that axle out. There we go. Now you can see we're losing a little bit of transmission fluid here. Not too much, but make sure you get a little drain pan underneath here to catch that. I was a little slow, so I made a little bit of a mess here on the driveway, but try to get that cleaned up before my wife gets home. Try to be careful of the seal in the transmission so we don't have to mess with that. Just pull it straight out. There we go. There's the old one. All right, and then we can just feed the new axle in through the same opening here. Again, just kind of be mindful of that seal on the inside as we push this through. There we go. And just give it a little twist if you need to. Let's just make sure that that goes all the way in. Now sometimes you can just push that in. I'm going to use a little rubber mallet and give it a few taps, see if I can get that seated. There it is. Just carefully line up those splines in the hub and just kind of push that through. Might have to twist it a little bit. There we go. There it is. Now we need to get down underneath and line up the ball joint. Try to line up the ball joint here. Sometimes this is easy, sometimes it's not. You know, you can even just put your pry bar through this little opening and push that down. I'm going to go turn the wheel back to pull this tie rod in a little bit. I think that's going to help us because I think we're kind of fighting this with the wheel turned. Sometimes you got to play around with that a little bit, but there we go. I'm going to get these threaded on by hand first. Now I just have this on the lowest setting to snug these up real quick. Okay, and then let's see if we can get that bolt started. Perfect. Same thing, we'll just get that snug with the impact. This is just on the lowest setting. Now we're going to torque each one of these to 66 foot-pounds. All right, and then our new nut here that came with the axle, just going to spin that on. And same thing, I've just got the impact set to a really low setting just to spin this on quicker. And we're going to torque this to 159 foot-pounds. Here I'm going to use the big pry bar to hold this steady or keep this from turning. If we can wedge it in there, that should work. I didn't get to use my big new pry bar underneath because I didn't have the vehicle lifted up enough, but really happy Mayhew sent this to me and I'm really excited to get to use it. I just haven't had a really good application, but working great for this, just holding that steady. And then we can torque this to 159 foot-pounds. All right, now I'm going to spin this around. And you see the keyway right here and the flange on the end of this nut. We're going to tap that down to stake that in place to prevent this nut from backing out accidentally. Now really any drift or punch will work. I'm just going to set this right here and pound that down into that keyway. And we're done. You can see that that little dimple in that flange is going to hold this in place and prevent that from backing off once we get on the road. That's pretty much everything. I am going to double check the transmission fluid level before heading out because we did lose a little bit more than normal. A lot of times when you do this, if you have the side that you're working on a little bit higher than the other, you won't lose so much fluid. In our case, we were pretty close to level. Maybe even this side was a little down. That was my mistake. I should have had the other side lower when doing this and probably would not have spilled so much here on my driveway. But of course, I'll get that cleaned up. Everything else looks good and this is ready to hit the road. I hope you guys liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. And of course, I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up a replacement CV shaft or axle for your car, along with some of the other parts and tools used in the video as well. Thanks so much for watching and good luck.